Hang on. Let me keep. All right. Hey, everybody. I had the clock wrong. I kept lapping it. I'm like, that's not what I want to do. So Griffin was asking me why I'm so convinced that the Sony PlayStation backwards compatibility thing. And again, this is gonna really blow up on me if it's not true. But they're not saying that the PS5 is they're filing a patent for backwards compatibility of all Sony consoles. We just don't know what it is yet. But the things that have made people think about it is that Sony, the company listed as Sony Interactive Entertainment Inc., and the inventors are named as Mark Evan Cerny and Kenki Morishita and Simon Pilgrim. The Sony acolytes will no doubt have heard the first name before. It's, besides a small spelling mistake, is none other than Mark Evan Kearney, the lead architect on both the PS4 and PS Vita. The listed Simon Pilgrim in the patent is almost certainly the same Simon Pilgrim who's currently principal programmer at Sony Computer Entertainment of Europe. And that means this patent has been made at the exact company that makes PlayStation consoles. And they're currently the people that are develop the PlayStation ecosystem and consoles. Sony Japan has registered a new patent that allows the retrocompatibility of the hardware with previous consoles. It is a system to be applied in a future machine, PS5, that allows the CPU of the new console to interpret the central unit of the previous machine. The aim is to make the application design for the previous console's legacy device run perfectly on the most powerful hardware, and is focused on eliminating the synchronization errors between the new consoles and the behavior of the previous ones. So there is... When the patent was started filed, people don't get excited, but then when the names started appearing, it's like, ooh, these are the people that actually made the PS4 that filed this.
And not only that, but it sounds like that Sony isn't just deciding to do it, but they are going all in and saying, all right, we're not just doing it, we are doing this.
They learned what Capcom... They learned from that Capcom guy when he announced Resident Evil 2. He wears the "We Do It" shirt. So people need it when they said when they're going to remake 3. We do it again.
Well, yeah, because think about it. Sony, for maybe probably 2 years now, when it's come to them, doing something like that, where it's could be considered not necessarily risky, but kind of like a bold move. Sony has not peeled up on it at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they released the PlayStation Classic. Despite all of it being a terrible idea.
Yeah, the PlayStation Classic was a bad idea.
That was dumb. Half the games on it weren't what people wanted. And then the games that the people did want, they were the PAL versions, which means they were inferior to the ones that you could get in America just going to a used game store.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was a disgrace. And then there was the code listed with more games on there that they didn't put on there. It was just... ugh. But yeah, so I'm between the episodes I was saying, man, oh man, if the PlayStation 5 doesn't promise any good titles, that thing at launch is going to be more valuable than almost any console, because I can plug it up and play my PS2 games.
I don't think it's going to be an almost any console. I think it's going to be any console. Any of them.
What do you mean?
Because it's going to... If you're telling me that I have access to all of my PlayStation games...
Oh yeah, my PS3 ones?
Upon getting that PS5, that's the greatest console in history. And it's not it's not an argument either. If Microsoft
it'd be the greatest console launch of all time, yeah.
Yeah, if Microsoft fanboys try to argue it, they won't have a leg to stand on.
Man, I can play Halo.
Yeah, it'll be, oh, I'm sorry that I can't hear you over the sound of the greatest console library of all time, combined with the greatest console library of the previous generation of the PS4. Oh, also combined with the library of the PS1. I can't hear you over all that. Well, yeah, but the PS3 is the weakest library.
I don't know, man. Maybe for you, but there was a lot of good on the PS3. Again, if I just went back there and read my library, I could tell you some good stuff. And again, Yakuza's on the PS3. Yakuza 3, 4, and 5.
I just think that I think it's the weakest library. Oh, I can't complete this level. Okay.
No, I personally, and this is gonna sound weird, I think it's probably the weakest library overall is probably the PS1, because
so?
Here's the thing, you have the really good games that everyone remembers, but then you got all the clinkers that everybody wants to forget. Because remember, this was still the area of people feeling themselves in 3D, trying to figure out 3D.
Yeah, and
so, you know, games like Bubsy 3D.
Oh, jeez. Hey, that received a Game X award, remember?
Yeah. By the way, you know that game that's coming out this month that Sony isn't advertising at all? Days Gone.
Yeah.
Which is like Last of Us, and then they stopped talking about it, I guess, for some reason. That's made by the Bubsy 3D team.
Oh.
Donkey brought that up in a video, and I'm like, there's no way, and it is true.
There's no hope. Get back up. Oh my gosh, get up the hill. I hate the guys in this.
I was excited for that game when they first showed the trailers, but they stopped. Wait, is that game out? Oh, it was supposed to come out this month, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't remember. I'm gonna exit
it was
this level,
supposed to,
because I have to come back here, and I hate this level.
SIE Bin Studio. Their game, SIE Bin Studio. They developed Bubsy 3D, but then they made Siphon Filter.
I don't know what that game is.
It was basically a Metal Gear clone that actually was decent, but a lot of people say it's really good. I was okay with it. They also made Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Oh, the PSP one?
The Vita, yeah.
Oh, the Vita one, yeah. Alright, now it's time for Hercos, another level that I don't like.
But, oh man, I'm just kind of like, alright. So I'm looking at my shelf, I'm like, I'll tell you what, and people have to hold me to this. If the PS5 comes out and is completely backwards compatible, the first thing I'm doing is popping in Silent Hill 2.
Ooh.
I'm gonna pop it in. I don't know how the memory is gonna work. I wouldn't mind if they just put a slip for like PS1 and 2 where you could just put old memory cards in. I'd be fine with that. I'd buy some old memory cards because I still have some.
Oh well, yeah. And then watch all the Gen Z kids freak out and go, "What's this?
What's a memory card? What is a memory card?"
Something that contains your entire life in it, and if you lost it, you lost your life.
It's something that is both a blessing and a curse whenever it gets full.
Yes.
It turns into gamer's choice of which one of my darlings do I love the most and which ones do I have to murder.
And also when you get that horrible notification that it's corrupted. Oh.
I never got that one.
I did.
I had that with GameCube once, but it was a memory card.
Off-brand memory cards would do it all the time. Literally all the time.
I think I solved your problem of why it happened.
Oh, I know, but there's one memory card that I had that it did it fairly frequently, but then I bought another one that was from the same brand, but it was a much newer one. The first one was really old. So, it's from the same brand, much newer, and it held up really, really well, but then I went to go play Star Wars Battlefront 2 about 2 months ago, and it said that it was corrupted. And my massive...
Our familiar face.
Yes, because I had all of the medals achieved on that game, so that when I spawned in, I had all the award weapons. I had everything when I came in. I had that one, and I had an insane.
I'm saying I look at my PS3. My PS3 library, the two games I have on the front where my PS4 games are, is the Mass Effect Trilogy and Metal Gear Solid, the HD collection, which is 2, 3, 4, Peace Walker.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back at the back, there's Demon Souls.
Oh yeah, Demon Souls is PS3, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Isn't Dark Souls 2 originally as well?
The original one, yeah. Let's see here. GTA 4, I still love GTA 4. No one can convince me otherwise.
I forgot GTA 4 was actually on that too. So was GTA 5.
Yes, it was.
Originally,
Actually,
it was.
I used to own it for PS3. Yeah.
I think I still do. own
Red
PS3.
Dead Redemption 1.
Oh yes, that's PS3.
The fact that that's not on current things, the Uncharted games,
Yep, Uncharted.
God of-
Uncharted 1
God
through
of War 3.
3 were PS3. Yeah, 1 through 3 were PlayStation 3.
Uncharted, yeah. You know what? Now that I'm looking at it, you right. PS2 is the weakest library.
Yeah. The games that
Now
have
I'm like,
good
now that I'm
are
looking-
really good, but it doesn't have a very strong library.
I mean,
doesn't.
it does, but
Not overall. When compared to
No,
the other
no.
ones, it's not. It's
shit.
not very strong.
Compared to its rival at the time of that generation, the 360, no.
Yeah, the 360 actually did, as far as the games go, the
Because-
PS3 did end up winning. No, the Xbox 360 won that generation, but as far as the overall war,
by a hair.
the
So
PS3 won that
PlayStation 3
generation.
caught up at the end.
Yeah. It
Well,
did
PS3 is
outsell.
backwards compatible.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it
Well, that's
outsold.
because the Slim. But what was I gonna say? But yeah, I agree with you there that the PS4 is the only reason why it's not as good as the PS2 is because the PS2's sheer volume is just absurd.
It's just because of how much it has.
There's so many games that I want to play on PS2 that I just don't own. Like, oh boy, I could name several. Like, I want to play the Xenosaga games. I never played those. A lot of JRPGs on the PS2 that I want to play that I never got to. Devil Summoner, that one is super dope. Never got to play that one. So many, man. So many.
I really do like. I really do.
I love how this Spyro playthrough so far has been not. We barely talked about Spyro.
Well, yeah. I mean, because if I continue to talk about Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, I'll just keep saying, "Oh, I love this game. I love this game." Even
Yeah.
though, so like the few things that I have said so far is, "Oh, I hate this level. I hate this level." And
Well, yeah,
when
the
I
funny
say-
thing is, it's like that's.
when I say hate this level, like it's because I find the levels tedious. This one.
Oh, this one. Yep,
And-
I know exactly. Because making those fan jumps later is just.
Oh.
It's an exercise in tedium.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, I'm fine with the
I-
fan jumps. It's another challenge that's in here. Got it. Here's the fans, I think.
Spyro, do you see that big building over there?
because the PS4 library is just there's so many. I mean, just look at last year. How many games of PS4 were nominated for Game of the Year?
What do you
Well, I
get
mean,
for
most of them were
PS4?
Xbox One too. But
Well, Spider-Man and God of War.
Spider-Man and God of War were PlayStation exclusive, and
What?
God of War 1.
What is going on here?
I don't know.
Was this not the way I was supposed to go? Oh no.
Apparently
it's this
not.
way. Okay, it's this way.
Oh yeah, this thing.
Yeah, it's this way.
Um,
But what was I gonna say? Oh,
Uncharted
um,
4 was the year before.
yep. And Uncharted 4, incredible game. Absolutely.
Near
incredible game.
Automado.
The next slide. Remember to
That was Sony exclusive for the longest time.
mhm.
Microsoft got it just last year.
What I was gonna say was multiplayer game of this generation. Do you have a vote? Because I'm not gonna say that there's right.
That's
or
gonna
wrong
be
here.
what I think it should be, and what it's actually going to be.
Yeah. What do you think it should be?
Of the generation.
Of the generation, the multiplayer game of the generation.
That's hard to do because, as much as I love the one I want to say, their support on console has just been terrible lately.
Mhm.
And that's Siege because of all the mouse and keyboard users.
Yep.
And sometimes they take forever to patch stuff that is actually game breaking on the console.
Yes.
So I can't say that. The funny thing is, the only thing I can say is the one that everyone knows it's going to be.
If you say Fortnite.
You know, I mean, it has to be. I don't even play it, but I can't deny its success.
I can't deny its success. What I can deny is it being a good game. That I can deny till the cows come home.
You can deny it, but you know what the counter argument's going to be every time?
It's the amount of players.
No, it's free.
True.
That's the thing, and I don't think Fortnite would have come as far as it was if it wasn't free.
I'm gonna be like brutally
because
and
if you haven't
honest
noticed
here, though, the way that they have marketed that game is borderline insidious.
Oh, you mean literally coming out with a season pass every couple months?
Yeah, and the fact that not just that, but the fact that they putting ones that look like physical versions in stores so that parents buy it, and tricking kids into buying the game when you don't have to buy the game. The one that everyone wants to play is free. You don't have to spend any money on it if you don't want to. At all. It's just, it's so insidious. I hate it. I absolutely hate it, and that's the real reason why I hate the game. I hate the player base a lot, but
I don't know if you know much about Epic, but they're kind of like that. Like, there's a game coming out this year, Metro Exodus. It's the next in the Metro series, which I'm was kind of excited for the game because I'm gonna get it on my PC. But the thing about it is,
what's that?
Is that you can only pre-order on PC from the Epic store, and they said, well, if you guys, and the guy came out like, if you don't buy it on the Metro store, we're not going to port Metro games to PC anymore. And it's like, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys will lose money for doing that.
That
guy looks like a crackhead.
I would know. I live in an area with a lot of them. No, that's meth heads. Meth heads are in my area.
So what do you do? Run around and grab the thing away?
Yeah, and like the reason that I hate this challenge is that you're supposed to kill all these enemies, and they just keep taking the things off. So it's literally running back and forth is all you have to do. But I hate it because the goal of the challenge should be to try and get all of the orbs placed on the things before they can just manage to get them all placed before one of the enemies takes them away. That's what I think it should be. Not literally just sit here and run back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I mean, this is your typical Sony thing, though. Back in the PlayStation 1, go grab a thing, take it to place. Oh yeah, by the way, you're talking about PlayStation 1, I realized that now I should have realized the PlayStation 1 library is stronger, because think about it, one of the greatest RPGs of all time is on there.
Final Fantasy 7?
Yep, 7. 8's on there, which, hey, some people like that one.
Mm-hmm.
9 is on there, which 9 is amazing. Then PS2 had 10 and 12. And what did we get on PS3? Yeah,
13,
PS2 had 10.
10 times.
Yeah, we got Final Fantasy 13.
We got Final Fantasy 13 10 times.
Yep.
Because it's a good game, guys. It's a great game,
No,
guys.
it's not. It's mediocre at best.
Why did you
Final
love
Fantasy
this
13
game?
is mediocre. But then Final Fantasy 13-2 is not good, and then Final Fantasy 13-3 is just bad.
Please be it. Okay. I hate that challenge so much.
13-3 is just so bad.
Do I have any more challenges here? Or is that it? Please tell me that's it.
That it.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah,
That's it. Hurricos is done. Thank goodness. I hate both of those levels in this episode. This was an episode just filled with hate for Spyro, because those
Well, you
two
didn't
levels,
finish that other one because you couldn't complete it.
Yeah, I know. So I have to go back to it. I hate that level because it's a bad. I feel like it's a badly designed underwater level because you have to switch back and forth so much on what you're doing, and I don't think it translates well.
But anyway, the whole thing that brought this whole thing on, we were talking about last episode about the Nintendo Direct. I want Mario Maker and I want a Metroid Prime Trilogy announcement.
I would
Really,
love to see Mario Maker for the Switch.
That's all I want.
I don't understand why it hasn't already happened. Why is it not
Well,
already a thing?
They're probably trying to figure out how they're going to do it because remember, you'd have to take the thing out of the dock and to play it if you want to do the touchscreen. So they're trying to make it to where probably you can use the controller for it because there's rumors that there's going to be a docked Switch that's only docked coming out later this year that's cheaper.
Oh, so you can't take it places?
It's either you can only take it places or you can't take it places. It's one of the two.
Interesting. I also hate this.
So
level.
they're probably trying to figure out how that's going to work. I really want Mario Maker. I really want the Metroid Prime trilogy. That's really it. I mean, we painfully know Metroid Prime 4 isn't going to be there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like, we are painfully aware of how that game is definitely not going to be there.
The funny-looking guys
I'm like,
with the shop.
but I'm okay with the fact that they're delaying it to make sure it gets done right. I'm alright with that. It's like with
Oh
the
boy,
delay,
I know, but
with the delay that happened.
the way they came out of the gate with that info, man.
Yeah.
Hey guys, the build we have is garbage.
the build we have is trash. So
It's like, wow.
now is a very good time to end the episode though, because I just looked at the timer.
Okay
Yeah.
then.
So let's cut this one. As Spyro shimmy shimmies.
We're kind of looking at the sheep underwater.
This one right here.
Yep. So thank you all for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this. Where this episode we actually talked about Spyro and how much he hates that level.
And this one.
So and this one apparently.
Yep.
I will talk. Wait, that's how I end up my phone calls. We will see you next time.
All right. By the way, gonna kill the sheep. LOL.